Well, they showed me that Denver is not in their league. I mean, it's as simple as that. Even though they're the #2 seed,
right.
Golden State, in their last 3 meetings, they've won the games by a total of 63 points. So, they lost the first time to Denver. Once they started taking them seriously, they go out there and show them you can't compete with us. They also showed that, as we know, they can do everything on the basketball court. Either it's Steph and Clay hitting threes, KD in the mid-range. KD was doing it yesterday with the mid-range game. Then he gets ejected, and Boogie takes over in the post. And, he did some other things too. But they can do it all offensively. So they're just a team that is unstoppable. And Denver, Jokic doesn't play particularly well against Golden State.
Listen, man, I'm out on Jokic. Jokic is a nice player. He's a good player. He's probably going to be an All-NBA center. But we can't only point out the defensive deficiencies of players that we don't like.
Right.
Nikola Jokic is an egregious defensive player. He can't move. He can't move. And listen, he's the best passing center in basketball. He is an A-plus passer for any position, much less the center position. But that's the only thing he does at a super high level. He's not a super high-level scorer. He's 20 points a game. He's a decent rebounder, not a great rebounder. He's a horrible defender. And last night, he had 2 points and 5 turnovers in the second half of that game with the 1 seed on the line. You mentioned they lost by 63 or with the last 2 times they played. They could have lost by 35 last night. Last night it was a 14-point game, but it was way more lopsided than that. Denver went on a bit of a run in the fourth quarter when it was decided. Like, the Nuggets are the Hawks that won 60 games.
Right, because there's a great chance, and even the Hawks made the conference finals. I think the Nuggets could go out in the first round. If they get San Antonio, I'm picking the Spurs. And I think Oklahoma City will give them big time trouble.
Could give them trouble. So the Nuggets, we can cross through them. The bigger story, as you pointed out this morning, C, is the Warriors just have so many different ways to beat you. They can beat you in any style of basketball.
Yeah, and that's what they went to last night. I think it's disappointing for KD. I know people might think the refs might be at fault because the refs are getting more involved in the games. But to me, as a player, you're on the court. You're responsible to stay on the court. And it wasn't the type of call and the type of the game that you would question it, or say things that are going to get you ejected. Because there's some automatics in sports. If you say certain things, you're going to get ejected. So forget about what the call was. It becomes, what did he say? So for me, I don't like the fact that Kevin Durant, in his image, this is not the person KD is. He is not this mean, angry guy. But somehow along the way, over the last year and a half, that's what we're seeing. He's one technical away from being suspended. Kevin Durant, like, man, I think his mom would be like, really? Are they picking on my baby that much? Am I wrong about that, Chris?
It's interesting because Nick and I have talked about this. I said the same thing as you. When you saw him in Oklahoma City, he wasn't this volatile, this didn't seem as mean-spirited and all that. Once he got to Golden State, he was doing that stuff. I've talked to Kevin, and I've said that on the air. I've said it to him personally, and he told me, no, this is the real me. I was putting up a front in Oklahoma City, not being myself, trying to please everybody else. This is who I am. That's what he told me.
Well, this is what I'm not going to believe. Kevin Durant is not a dumb basketball player.
No.
He's the most efficient scorer, elite scorer we've had in NBA history. So he's a smart guy. Why you get thrown out up by 20? Okay? So even if this is you, why are you getting thrown out?
Control.
You're a smarter basketball player than that.
I wonder if KD, and, last few years, really since he's been in Golden State, he's been up there in technical fouls in the league. And obviously you got Draymond and Boogie. They got 3 of the top 10 most volatile guys or 5 most volatile guys in the league. But I wonder if KD, look, this is a frustrating season for him. I think all of them, to a degree, are frustrated because they just want to get to the playoffs and win their last championship together. But I think KD may take his frustration with maybe Draymond at times or with the situation at times and put it on the refs. He's not going to say it to his teammates for the most part.
Okay.
Which I guess from a team perspective, you'd rather him go at the refs than his other teammates. But I wonder if he does that.
But he's playing on a team that's going to most likely go to the finals and win. He was having an incredible game when he got.
Great
he's having
yesterday.
He's in the middle of a great season. It just seems like we're picking at straws. So he's frustrated. It's hard to because he doesn't want to be there next year. It just seems like right now when we talk about, hey, let's ramp it up, let's get this team ready for the playoffs. It's right around the corner. This is what they've been playing for. It's hard for me to believe that he's angry or frustrated.
I know he's frustrated at what happened Friday night in Minneapolis. He believes as a superstar, he shouldn't get that. When he was holding Big Cat in the pick and roll, they slipped Big Cat to the bucket and were going to throw a lob to him. And if KD was on the offensive side, he would have expected them to call a foul. So people might be like, well, the referee can't call that. He's got to be able to call it. Big Cat was going to have a layup to be able to end the game. So I thought in the game, this was a carryover to him being frustrated because he thinks people don't respect his game. He thinks that people love LeBron. So I believe that there is some real frustration. I think the point of, man, he's taking it out on the refs. His lack of what he believes to be able to communicate with the media, his situation there in Golden State, I could see that as a real. Now, it's not something I accept, but I have to listen to that and be like, I've seen guys do that.
Well, this is the dangerous game the Warriors are playing. In that series, the only series they've been tested in the last 3 years, the one against the Rockets documented this. They sent it to the league office. The Rockets got such a tough whistle, games 5, which they won, 6 and 7 in that series. They feel like they got absolutely screwed repeatedly by the refs in that series. Referees can sway games.
Oh, yeah.
And when Steph, and I love Steph, but Steph pointing and laughing and twirling at the ref on the play before that, I think led to, okay, it's
on
50-50
Friday night,
call
the
on
game
Friday
in
night.
Minnesota.
Thank you.
Right.
I apologize.
Yeah, you're right. I agree.
I mean, I've never seen this happen. I've never him pointing at that young ref, spinning, them going back to it, pointing to him when he's in the huddle. Now, that wasn't the ref that called the foul on KD, but they're a team.
Yes.
It was the veteran ref who called the foul on KD. And then KD yesterday, after he gets kicked out, calling Zarba, who, as you pointed out, you're going to see him in the playoffs.
Yep.
Zach Zarba's a playoff ref. And a good ref. Calling him every bad word you can call somebody. These guys, they have a union. They talk to each other. Like, you're not helping yourself. That's a real thing to me.
And look, I'm going to give these referees the benefit of the doubt that they wouldn't purposely let their individual feelings go against a team, but they're human.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you just don't like a guy or they've been mean to you or calling you out of your name all season long, that will show up, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, that'll show up in the calls.
Yes, I know guys who played against me always complain that I got a favorable whistle. And I'm going to tell you, I use the relationship with the refs. In the program, Denny Green taught me this. Hey, Chris, this is what they call him this week. We knew the guy's name. We knew some personal information about him. Before the game, I go up to him, talk to him, mention the name and everything, make a joke about him. Hey, man, don't call me for pushing because I'm going to be pushing all day. You know I'm slow. You know I can't get no separation. So they are humans, and I saw that I was able to utilize it to my advantage.
And Alex Rodriguez told me he did the same thing. Before every series, if it was a new ref, he walked up, introduced himself, just let it be known that he was sort of on their side.
Wasn't there something about MJ giving out sneakers or something like that?